Have you ever wondered how Kruger National Park came to be? It's a story of vision, conflict, and determination, and it almost didn't happen. Join us as we uncover the untold history behind South Africa's most iconic wilderness. Every year, between 1.5 and 2 million people visit the Kruger National Park, South Africa's crown jewel. For some, it's the vast wilderness that calls to them. Others come for the thrill of seeing wild animals, and many are drawn by the sheer beauty and diversity of the bird life. Whatever their reason, this extraordinary place, a sanctuary for wildlife and wonder, didn't just appear. It began as a dream imagined by a president who feared the wilderness would vanish. And it became a reality thanks to a soldier who made that dream his mission. This is the story of Paul Kruger, the visionary, and James Stevenson-Hamilton, the enforcer who turned that vision into legacy. Paul Kruger, President of the South African Republic, or the Transvaal Republic as it was known in the late 1800s, was not just a politician. He was a man of the bush, deeply connected to the wild places of the Lowveld. He watched with alarm as hunters wiped out game and settlers claimed land. And he made a decision few others would have made at the time, to set aside land not for farming, not for building, but to protect nature. In 1898, just before war broke out, the government proclaimed the Sabie Game Reserve, a tiny, fragile beginning of what would become Kruger National Park. In 1902, after the war ended, a young British officer named James Stevenson-Hamilton was sent to the bush. His orders were simple: take charge of the reserve and protect the wildlife. What he found was chaos, poaching, cattle, fires, and nearly no game left. He banned hunting, he chased off settlers, and he made enemies. The local Shangaan people gave him the name Skukuza, the man who sweeps clean. It was said with bitterness and respect. But slowly the bush began to breathe again. Year by year the land began to recover. Herds grew bolder. Birds returned in greater numbers. Waterholes, once empty, became alive with movement again. But saving Kruger was a constant battle against greed, against politics, even against nature itself. Floods, droughts, disease, he faced them all with the same stubborn heart. In 1926, thanks to Stevenson-Hamilton's tireless work and with public support, the Sabie and Shingwedzi reserves were combined. The South African Parliament declared it a national park and gave it a name to honor the man who started it all, the Kruger National Park, a place where wild things could live and where people at last would come not to conquer the land, but to marvel at it. Today, millions come to Kruger for the thrill of the wild, for lions on the move, for hornbills in the trees, for that deep sense of being somewhere ancient and alive. But none of it was guaranteed. It took vision, it took grit. And it took two men, one who saw the future slipping away and another who refused to let it go. What we hear in the hush before sunrise, what we see in the shimmer of heat on the plains, is a legacy, not just of wilderness protected, but of courage remembered. If you've enjoyed learning about the Kruger that we know and love, do like and subscribe down below. Thanks so much for watching, and be sure to catch us next time.